make sure that my mic is on. Okay. And X this out. Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. Class. There we go.
Already making mistakes.
Already. That's gonna be you in a sec, Cain.
Yep,
Oh, yeah, I need to get my
like
energy
always.
up. There's a lot, there's a lot that's gonna happen this campaign. That's gonna require that I wild out.
It's not nerve inducing at all.
Like rape.
Alright, so, welcome back to Solstice, Chapter 5, Freedom's Edge. Named after the fact that this is your proverbial Friday, I'd like to take a moment to talk about how time works in the campaign, because it doesn't move in tandem with how real life time works. So the week restarts after 5 days, which is 5 campaigns. 4 of them being class days, and the 5th being like a free day. Once a full 5-day week is completed, it will be interpreted thematically as a month passing in the universe. So, does anyone have any questions about that?
No, I'm pretty thankful for that.
No.
So the 5th campaign, which would be the free day, and then the 6th campaign, which would be the restart of the week. Are we to assume that basically a month has happened, or at least I guess 3 more weeks has happened between those 2 days?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
So the grade in your class, technically you won't get an actual grade in the class like the first day of classes, but it's implied that for that entire month of, say, I think this started in fall, so that entire month of August, you've held that grade in the class. Like you have been struggling for weeks or have been doing okay for weeks in that class. So by the time you get to the next lesson, it's like September now, and they're moving on to another lesson, hopefully to allow you to get your grades up.
Okay.
Alright. So, I was going to have us take some time to talk about the lost footage from last campaign, but we ended up doing like a very small recording this past, I think it was Wednesday, just to kind of summarize it so that we have it for the archived records. Because that entire chapter 4 is just like charged. But it's okay, because we got the key points out. So instead, we're going to do what we usually do, which is give you all the time to share any important information from your text roleplays, starting with Bentley.
Okay, important information. We were talking with Sera. We ended up going on our quote unquote date where he originally set up to go foraging with her. She was admittedly pretty tired. She said that she had exhausted herself trying to do too much in that day. And while we were on the date, she was expressing hesitation about Ethan calling her up to the front of class. So they started making a plan to talk with him and hopefully either get her exempt or make it that he exempts the details she just doesn't want to come out yet. So they ended up scheduling an appointment to talk with him before next Coven Courtesies, which is going to be great because it's like he wants to sleep in. So you signed the petition to let him sleep in, and now you schedule an appointment during the morning where he'll have to get up anyways. So already starting that off on the wrong foot. We were also talking a little bit with Kai, and Kai said that he would come over and hang out. But other than that, I think that was the most important things that happened.
Sorry, actually didn't do much this week. I spoke to Noel a bit more in the study group. Kind of learned a little more about him. Asked about his classes and whatnot. Very different than other people. He mentioned that he doesn't have a primary. That he wants to get through all of his classes to make a valid interpretation of them all before he chooses his primary, which I thought was different and really smart. Especially since he's like an Ironborn, so kind of tracks. I did, however, text Kieran about some stuff, ways to fix the water in my room, as well as some vampire blood questions. But other than that, didn't really do too much.
So in my text role plays, I in my text role plays, I had to speak to Luca because the whole mishap that happened that day. He's basically saying that he's he won't be showing up to classes anymore. Today might be his last day of showing up for class. I also, as you know, in my free time, I stayed in my magical creature care club class with my RA and with the professor. Spoke to them a little bit. I also tried speaking to Marcy too, but you know how Marcy is, so you can imagine how that went. And I ended up getting Delilah's number because they were at Magic Tekra for some reason. But I couldn't go because Delilah was not being weird, but just didn't want Misty to be there. So, that's pretty much what happened in my role plays.
I got a lot cut out for me. So shortly after last time, I talked with Salem and Roman about this whole ring thing, and I reminded myself and them that I also have one. So we switched plans there, and we decided to tamper with my ring instead of Delilah's. But apparently, Salem made a promise with Delilah that she can't back out of, even if she isn't getting the ring anymore. So she will not be joining us for lunch. And me and Roman kind of thought that was sus. So we started talking and we started breaking down all the things we have to do. And the plan right now is I'm going to befriend Delilah so that I can figure out what's going on. Roman's going to tamper with the ring. And then we're actually going to get Rosalind on this shit to make the petition for the expulsion of Cain. And that's what's going on with us right now.
Fun.
Crazy work.
Fun.
All right, we're gonna hop right into it. Let me just put my my text at 200 zoom. Okay, so morning time had become far easier now that all of our characters had finally adjusted to their new eating habits. Bentley and Tim had a marvelous morning, being the two individuals who had adjusted the quickest. Misty had a much more satisfying morning, now that she awoke in a room that was uniquely hers. And while Cain was finally able to consume his breakfast with no qualms, he still had to overcome the challenge of his room being messy and waterlogged. It was beginning to smell due to the lack of maintenance, a musky scent that would become present on his person until he resolved this issue. This, along with his decision to go cheap on products even though he's used to luxury brand, is precisely why I'm gonna need another con roll from Cain.
Oh my god.
Room
His
stinks.
room is musty?
Well, it's water. It gets like moldy and stuff.
Bro, you need to call in someone for help.
I figured it out. I just need to
Call
wait till.
Silas, bro. Be like, bro, let me sleep over.
Making sure I do this right. Oh my god.
Ooh.
So because it is the second day of his luxury products, I believe. Sorry, his
Yeah.
cheap products. His confidence had tanked, giving him -1 charisma, But now that he is not only using cheap products, but he just has this scent on all of his laundry, he is suffering from -2 charisma today.
Great.
He's not gonna have a good day today.
It's been less than 5 minutes and you were hand delivered hell, bro.
All
Sure.
preventable. All preventable. Additionally, Tim, it should be noted that you had neither eaten lunch nor dinner last night. He went to sleep on an empty stomach, which is why I will need a constitution roll from Tim.
I got that. Watch this shit.
Don't let him stun on you.
Hold on,
He's about to roll really well. Watch. He also has like a +3 on.
Alright, so, Tim, your focus will tank, which will grant you disadvantage on perception and insight-based rolls. Now,
he's losing.
Go for demons.
Yeah, it's not gonna be great.
Alright, so breakfast had been seamless. Now that everyone was familiar with their newfound diets, is there anyone that would like to abstain from eating their breakfast this morning?
Absolutely not.
I can't imagine why anybody would do that.
Can I text Roman for his
Okay.
pancakes again?
Oh yeah, Roman is more than happy to bring you pancakes.
Let's fucking go.
You've noticed that Roman has come a long way from the very first day that you met him. If you recall, he was not much of a texter, but he is now texting you back faster than Salem might even text you back.
Progression. I love it.
Progression.
So if I should eat, but I also won't be at lunch, and no one can bring me lunch. So I don't know if I should save my breakfast for lunch.
If you don't eat, period, you never know when I'm going to hit you with a constitution roll. You especially, because you're a dragonborn. And let's just say Howling never skipped no meals.
Okay.
You probably should eat.
Yeah. Okay.
My breakfast is pills. It's not gonna give me any energy anyways if I save it.
Alright. So, today was the first day that everyone would experience the fruits of Ethan's labor. His petition to delay class. With a little bit more time in the morning, many of their classmates had other plans in mind. Cain heard a knock on his door. It wasn't long before Silas's voice had followed. Hey there, buddy? You in there? The blonde called from beyond the door. Oh man, what's that smell? Is everything okay in there?
You could open the door. Like I said, it's the water everywhere.
So, as you open the door, Silas will kind of like cover his nose with his sleeve and see the condition of your room and just kind of look at Cain and be like, so what the fuck happened here?
After our first night, Ava mentioned a demon in her room, and she didn't want to sleep in her dorm. So I offered her to sleep in this room, but she like really likes water. I honestly not sure what that's about. And so she was like swimming in my tub, and it got everywhere essentially.
How long ago was that?
First day of school.
So you've just been living like this?
I didn't know how to fix it. I just asked our RA. Don't know why I didn't do that earlier. But now that we're towards the end of the week and I've paid so
End of
much
the
damage, I
month,
don't.
bro. End of the month.
End of the month,
You've been living like
you
this.
know, it's just
Ah!
you know, it's paying damages and getting accustomed to a budget. It's I don't have the money to get the thing I need to fix this.
Okay. Then you shouldn't mind if we talk out in the hall.
That's super fine.
Emotional damage.
So, as you all move out into the hall, you guys return to that lovely little common space where you previously had the orientation. He's going to find like just kind of a nice place to sit down, and he's going to turn to Cain and be like, "So, how are things going with Ava? Have you talked to her recently?"
No, I actually haven't. Been kind of focusing on class, getting caught up in classes, pretty much.
Yeah. After seeing the state of your room, I'm not surprised to hear that you are a little bit overwhelmed. I definitely make sure that your house is okay first. But who knows? You could always ask to go over to her house. He's gonna lean
The
in
one
your
with the,
direction, sniff again, and maybe after you do laundry.
it's all the water everywhere. It's next on the list to get fixed.
Look,
But yeah, go ahead, Silas.
Silas is going to take out his phone, and you can see that he is browsing through his SSS marketplace until he comes across the Garnet Talisman. You can see him order it. It should this should be here by the end of the day. I can't I can't have you walking around like this. I don't know how, but it's a negative reflection on me.
What do you mean? I appreciate it. I thank you. Yeah, you didn't have to do that.
Like you will not get anywhere with any girl if you're walking around. And what's up with your hair, man?
I'm not used to. I like I said, I paid so much money in damages. I wanted to get like my scents that I normally have, but I didn't have the money for all the super luxurious items because of this damn allowance. Rich boy problems. And it's like I just got my scents just to have them, and they're my hair and body are not okay with it.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. After practice tonight, you're going to gather the Garnet Talisman. You're gonna come with me to my room. We're gonna get the talisman because it should be delivered by then. You know, Magic Express or whatever. Um, we're gonna clean your room. You're gonna take a proper shower, and then you're gonna send Ava a text message around 8 p.m. You're gonna ask her to come over, and you're gonna be confident, and you're gonna be suave, and you're going to land this girl.
Are are you gonna be doing the same thing with Marcy afterwards?
Oh, I actually came here to discuss that with you, but geez,
I mean,
you're so you remember those
I'm struggling.
commercials
Okay, I'm
where
struggling.
they have the dogs in the cages and they play that really
Oh my.
sad song?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's so that's so you right now.
Oh well, I appreciate the help. You called the number on the commercial. I appreciate it.
hmm Um, I was gonna tell you. Oh God, I lost my train of thought. I'm just so sad looking at you. Uh,
Oh my god.
I was texting Marcy last night. Yeah. Um, we were texting for a while, somewhere in there, I asked her if she was dating Zeke, and she said no. If there wasn't an opportunity for me to push in, she wouldn't have said that. So I don't think that her and Zeke are together.
Well, that's good news.
Mm-hmm. Which means I'm making my move today.
Excited for you. You gonna go all out in Elemental Blitz today?
That's the plan. I think she would really appreciate that.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, but I can't, really unlock my true potential in raising her up if I know that you're just at home like a sad, sick dog. So I'm gonna need you to get it together.
Well, with your help, I'm gonna be able to after Blitz.
Okay, cool. Glad to know that you're on the up and up.
Thanks again.
No problem. Now, this campaign is already peak. Just wait till we get the fucking petition out. Okay.
Shit.
Misty was startled by the sound of banging on her door. To no surprise, the voice that accompanied it was equally booming. Don't tell me you're still in bed. Come on, I need to get a jog in before class, and I'm not waiting. It was Marcy.
I'm sorry, because this is just. Imagine just trying to enjoy your morning after your little breakfast. You go back to sleep because you get to go into class late, and you hear boom, 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 boom. What? So, Misty opens the door and sees Marcy, all dressed, ready to go.
Wake up! Okay.
What the fuck was that?
Shit.
Good morning to you too. Just give me like 2 minutes.
All right, I'll give you one.
Okay, and do you want to step inside or do you want to wait outside? And she just kind of.
I'm gonna wait out here.
Okay.
Me not being comfortable should motivate you to move even faster.
So Misty starts to get ready for a jog.
Alright, Misty, it's a similar free run to the one that you've done with her and the boys in the past. So can I get a delicious dexterity roll?
All right, I have 0 dex, so this is just fun.
Oh man.
She's not a strength-based character. That too.
Not bad.
She's not a dex character.
Alright, so Misty, it's a little difficult for you to keep up with Marcy. As she starts to incorporate some of the little hardcore parkour, you're just climbing like a little bit too slow. You're stopping to take breaths here and there. Today just doesn't seem to be a good physical day for you to be at the level that she needs you to be. However, when she sees that you're like stuck on the little vine, those little vine things that they have like scaling up buildings? When she see you just kind of like look at it and just let out that exhale, she just kind of like rolls her eyes, jumps off the building, lands next to you, and she's just like, let's just go for a regular jog. Let's just go for a regular jog. Let's just go.
Okay, yeah, that's a little bit better.
So as you two are like jogging together, she's keeping like a good pace. You're breathing a little hard, and you're a big girl, so like the breaths are like extra loud. And she says, hopefully you could talk and jog, but she just kind of sizes you and sees how you're going. It's just like, anyways, I wanted to talk to you about something.
You know, Misty has like the sweat on her forehead. And she's like, talking
I'm a
about
fat bitch.
what?
So last night, while I was hanging out with Delilah, as you know, I'm a person that's capable of multitasking. I was texting you, but I was also texting Silas. And it was a little bit weird for me because we've never spoken as long as we did last night. I think he might be into me, but I've already put so much work into Zeke. So, I just wanted to know, in your opinion, objectively, who's better, Silas or Zeke?
This is so. Hold on, let me think about it. Give me pros and cons of each. I don't know Silas. Who is that?
See, you've already said enough. If you don't know who he is, then who is he to try to talk to me?
I mean, last. Oh, hold on, muted.
You're muted.
Okay. Last night you mentioned how you wanted a loyal harem. So do you not think he would be a good fit?
At the end of the day, I'm not looking for Prince Charming or my end goal, at least not this year, or even in the coming years. I'm just trying to have fun without ruining my reputation. And I feel like Zeke can make things fun, but Silas is also not bad. I hate to say it, but they're interchangeable.
Yeah, I see. I'd say just stick with Zeke. Like he said, he's pretty loyal to you.
You've given me a lot to think about. Of course, it's with a grain of salt because I know that you have shitty taste, but, you know, good talk.
Cheers,
Yeah.
Misty.
Good talk. I'm glad I could give you a little hope, I guess.
Now, Tim hears a faint knocking on his door. Would he like to answer the door?
Yes.
To no surprise, it was Roman. Roman says, I tried to get Salem first, but they've chosen to sleep in this morning. I saw that you weren't entirely done with your mathematics packet. Figured we could get some work in before common courtesies.
This guy's doing math. We have time to not do school, and you're about to do school.
I have a lot on my plate, man. I got elemental blitz. I got demons to fucking deal with. I think this is fine. Yeah, let's work on that packet.
That's upsetting.
Alright, so can I get an intel roll to see how... Wait, what's your current grade in math? It's like a
I think
D,
it's a
right?
D now.
Alright, can I get that
Hold on,
intel
wait.
roll -1? And do you currently have your ring on?
Yeah, I haven't given it to him yet.
Yeah. Wasn't that you got like an intelligence boost from that?
Yeah, it was a +1, so does that
Okay,
just
so it's
cancel
just
out?
yeah, it cancels out. So just give
Alright.
me a 1d20 and let's see how you do on this packet.
Come on, I haven't rolled above like a fucking 11 in 3 campaigns.
Oh my god!
Okay, so the good news is you rolling a 4 will not lower your grade. It just means you're just not in your element right now. But you're definitely not raising it. You're very comfortable with that D.
It's fine. I'll take it.
So, as you guys are working through the packet, you just kind of barely pay attention to it. And
I
Roman
didn't
is
eat dinner
also
yesterday.
kind of like working his way through to it like it's an ends to a mean. But he'll say, look, there's something that I didn't want to discuss over the phone.
Okay. There's more to this than just math. Okay.
Yeah. Oh. Are you saying that I can never just come over to do my homework?
No, I mean we got an extra. Wait, when does this out of character? When does school usually start? Like before this whole thing happened?
I would say before the shift it started at like 9, but now it's starting at like 10.
Okay, I mean we have an extra. Okay, so back in character. I mean we have an extra hour, so I mean actually this is the best time to do it considering the day we have ahead of ourselves. So I don't mind it.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Anyways, I think that Salem might be corrupted. And that's neither
What?
here nor there. That's neither here nor there. But maybe we should consider limiting the information that we tell her.
Can you define corrupted?
As you know, she's been spending a lot of time with Delilah, and Delilah is a part of that hand-picked group by faculty to work on Pride, or whatever it is they're calling it nowadays. And it's giving me a bad vibe, and until we get to the bottom of it, I just don't think we should, or at least we should be careful what kind of information we slide her way.
I honestly couldn't agree more. My only problem is that would be a giant hammer to the trust that we've built between the three of us if we start leaving her in the dark about things, especially because she was here from the beginning. So it's this is just so stupid.
Well,
I guess this means I have to just really figure out this whole Delilah situation
yeah,
as
at
fast
the
as
end of the
possible.
day, I know that you will be investigating the Delilah situation. Obviously, there's more to this than we've let on. And as soon as we figure out what's going on with Delilah, I'm more than happy to share everything that we know with Salem. It's just, I have a bad feeling.
No, I get it. I get it. Well, at least the good thing is we don't honestly have a lot of information right now, anyways. So I guess when you can figure out the ring, we'll trade information on because I'll see what I can get on Delilah today if I can get anything. And then I guess we'll go from there.
That being said, I think we should consider adding someone else to the inner circle, if not just for information, simply for muscle. Rosalind feels like a gossip, so I don't think that we should go with her. Do you have any opinion on who we might be able to talk to?
Same meme.
Yeah. Say Cain for the fuck of it. See his reaction.
Don't make him crash out, dog.
Actually,
Make him
yeah,
laugh.
no, don't listen to him. Don't do it.
Look, I haven't eaten my breakfast. I haven't eaten dinner yet. Let me just think real quick. Let me think.
Let him cook.
Well, muscle wise, I mean, I'm on the Elemental Blitz team, and there are a couple, strong people there. The captain is Marcy, but I think she's friends with Delilah, so we can't really do that. I mean, I don't know how you feel about vampires considering Cain, but Luca is pretty strong. Do you think we can rope him into this? Although I think her and Marcy are also kind of friends. I don't know, man. Okay, here's the thing. I'll go through Elemental Blitz, and I'll look to see if I sense a little bit of anybody there. And I think we can go from there.
Yes.
Because right now, not off the top of my head.
I just want to clarify that I have no problem with vampires. I just have a problem with Cain.
Okay, all right. So
I was actually a big fan of Twilight when it came out.
Okay. Okay, in that case, like I said, I'll see who's. I really feel like most of those people are all kind of friends, so I wouldn't be surprised if we picked up Luca or we picked up Marcy, they'll go and say something to somebody. So I got to find somebody that's kind of like not in that inner circle of people, somebody who we can genuinely trust. But I don't have an idea right now off the top of my head.
I'll trust your judgment. Anyways,
But
at
when I do
some
find
point,
somebody, I'll be the first person to. You'll be the first person to know, or the only person, I guess.
but unfortunately, at some point, you are going to have to pick up that packet and actually try. So,
Yeah. Well, I'm like 2 meals away from food. I've been eating pills the last 2 days, and I got a lot on my plate. I wish it was food, but none of what's on my plate is actually edible.
oh,
So
why don't you just eat the pancakes that I brought you? Once again, Roman has split his breakfast entirely in half
Woo!
to provide you with.
I should start coming over more often, especially in the mornings.
We can make that an arrangement.
Yes.
Can someone from Elemental Blitz explain what it is? Someone has asked
I
the
don't
question
even.
in the chat.
Cain?
That's a deep. I don't even know what a blitz is yet.
Elemental Blitz is this school's version of the sports team. We actually don't have a lot of details as it's going to be our second outing today, later today. But it is the sports team in the school. It's where the jocks and people who are athletic go to let off some steam, apparently.
I'm gonna let out a whole bunch of steam later on today.
Alright. Hi, Al! Hi! It's good to see you! Okay, Bentley, which is Diana, could you do us the honor of reading your yearbook caption?
Yeah, sure. Chapter 5, Freedom's Edge. Remember Bentley's first gig as an emotional support animal. And we got a picture of Sera basically in the yearbook, and there's some like skull graphics down at the bottom. They're doodled. I'm just gonna assume that's for aesthetic and not like an omen.
So, Bentley, on the other hand, had found himself heading up to his Coven Courtesies classroom at the same time as per usual. He had an early appointment that he promised he would be present for. He arrived just in time to see Sera had been sitting at one of the desks up front. She craned her neck to look over her shoulder, her gaze softening at the sight of him, a subtle relief in knowing that he was a keeper of his word. I have a feeling that he'll be running a few minutes late, she greeted. And thanks for going over what I should say. When you have conversations like these so often, it could become a little bit draining.
Yeah, it's no problem. I figured it's just easier to get it all out of the way first, cause it's thinking of it on the spot and the things that bother you on the spot. You kind of already in your head, but it's no big deal. I'm just happy I could be here for you.
Now, Bentley, would you do the honors of reading the next yearbook caption?
Imagine starting a petition for later classes, only for a student to schedule a morning meeting. And we got a picture of Ethan with his Starbucks. You know, I'm gonna think it's a good thing. Maybe he woke up early, he had his Starbucks, and he saw he had an appointment. Like maybe he was already up.
Ethan arrived with a coffee that had been the size of his torso. He didn't complain about having to be present, but it was clear that he was not fond of having to be present early. Needless to say, he walked up past the two of them so that he could take his usual seat at the front of the classroom, which wasn't all that far from them. For a moment, his gaze lingered on Bentley, skeptical of his presence. However, his skepticism was fleeting. Everyone had been making bonds, after all. "What can I do for you?" he inquired vaguely, welcoming either of them to speak up. "Now, Bentley, do you feel compelled to do anything to show your support to Sera in this moment?"
Bentley is going to stand by Sarah's side and put a hand on her shoulder and give her a squeeze and be like, "I'm here if you need me. You could go ahead and get that started. I'm not really sure how you want to start out."
Okay, I lost my place. Hold on. Here it is. Sera gave Bentley a passing glance before turning her attention to Ethan. I, um, Thank you for coming out here early. I won't take up too much of your time, but I was wondering if I could be exempt from the lessons on species." Ethan chuckled. "What timing. I actually drew your name for today's lesson," he said while taking a sip of his coffee. "Yours too, Bentley. Are you both hoping for an out?"
I mean, me, not so much. I feel like it would be more beneficial for Sarah. I don't mind being up in front of class and just, you gonna say what you gonna say. For me, it's not that, I guess, emotionally damning. So, I don't need to be exempt, just Sarah.
Sera spoke up again. Um, it's mostly about me and what I am. I just, given the context of what makes me me, I'm just not quite ready to face the music or the questions." Ethan placed his coffee on the table. "Say less," he assured her while reaching into his inner coat pocket, retrieving a familiar jade talisman. "The point of these lessons aren't to expose you, but to help your classmates understand what they're dealing with. That being said, your species isn't known for its violent tendencies, so I'm willing to give you more time," he answered. "That being said, this talisman wasn't the only thing I wanted to give you today. Let's keep an open mind here, okay?" Ethan reached into his coat pocket once again and retrieved something that can only be described as a glowing, iridescent, circular vessel. It had 4 sigils inscribed on it, and it was no larger than a coffee can. He glanced at Bentley once more, then back to Sera. "How much do you want your little friend to know?" Sera paused, hesitating for a moment before placing her hand into Bentley's, gripping it for support. "He can stay." "Bentley, Sera has demonstrated in this moment that she has deep trust in you. How does this make you feel?"
His face furrows in a way where it's like, God, I'm about to cry. That's so. I'm honored. But he's just kind of like holding it in because it's not about him, but it moves him because he didn't think that he would be allowed to stay after they achieve the first objective. So he's kind of. He's looking to Sarah. He feels ways, and they're positive.
Ethan nods before continuing. "Reapers do not consume souls. They only facilitate their natural transition, unless said soul is contracted to an external source." He raised the vessel slightly with a gesture. "In this container, there is a docile soul in need of transition. There's a chance that the continued condition you're experiencing is a racial punishment for not fulfilling your purpose. It doesn't need to be right now. It doesn't have to be today, but at some point, I encourage you to open this vessel to experiment with that purpose. I'd recommend doing it in the presence of someone who can support you." He informed her before extending the vessel in her direction. "And when you're ready, you can tell the class about who you are." Sera nodded, and as she accepted the vessel, and just as Ethan grabbed his coffee and began to approach the exit, there was still time for a nap or something before class began. "Thank you, Ethan." she expressed graciously as she observed the vessel, placing it into her messenger bag and zipping it up. Then she turned to Bentley. And thank you for being here with me.
I would rather be nowhere else. I feel like you just needed a little push, but I'm really happy that you had that conversation with him.
Bentley and Sera remained in Coven Courtesy's classroom for the time being, awaiting for when their classmates would trickle into the class. Now, Cain, will you do me the honor of reading the yearbook caption?
Coven courtesies. The professor needed more than just coffee today.
Now, this was the first time in a while where Ethan had actually been on time, if not early to class since the very first day. He must have been awake for some reason. I wonder whose fault that was. Needless to say, it left little time for shenanigans, at least for today. He had his shades off, and for the first time, his hat as well, revealing a mess of inky hair. He yawned while retrieving the familiar jade talisman from his person. Alright, settle down. Can I have to the front of the class Noel, Zeke, and Bentley? Players, are you familiar with what Noel, Zeke, and Bentley are? If so, what do you hope to learn about them? Starting with Bentley. Oh, wait, never mind. Not Bentley. Starting with Cain.
LOL.
Cain does know one of the persons here, which is Noel, which is he's an Ironborn. So he is hoping, because he doesn't want to, continue studying with Noel and maybe build like actual friendship. He does want to know maybe if there's a way that he can help out with his like reboot thing. If there's anything that how to like be near Ironborn and be helpful, right? Because they obviously have their own problems, just like he has a problem with blood. So
I forgot. So Misty, you said Zeke, right? So Zeke, was she there for that? Oh yeah. So she was there when he kind of transformed or something, and Marcy did mention him, noticing that her scent was off. So I guess he's some type of forgot, like animal folk or something. Noelle, she has no idea what he could be, but is interested in that. And Bentley, she remembers from their very first meeting off that train. Guess he's an animal folk. She can see the little ears on his head. Oh, it's not. Oh, okay. Then she'd be curious on what he is.
And Tim?
Tim pretty much doesn't know any of them aside from a little bit of Zeke, considering he was the one who was pouncing on Cain and gave him a nice elbow during Elemental Blitz last time. So he's curious to see where that power comes from, and he's also of course curious to see the rest of the other two.
Noel made his way to the front of the classroom, standing properly before his peers. He looked as if he were prepared to be examined, perhaps because he had been so many times before. Hello, my name is Noel Cross. I do not wake up, I power on. I opened my eyes and heard gears instead of breath. There is no heartbeat. Booting down can come without warning, which reminds me that I am not human. Ethan continues on. Now, the Ironborn. Walking proof that someone thought, what if a clockwork and the soul got stitched together? The trick with you is stability. Your gears, your core, your resets. You have a fault line built into your frame, and it's not a matter of if you crack under pressure, but when. The most unique part about Ironborns, you can always upgrade your vessel. As long as your soul stays intact, the body is secondary. That's what sets you apart from the Golem. You can rebuild yourself, upgrade, push past the limits you started with. Every break isn't the end, it's just a chance to rebuild stronger. He shared while handing him his talisman. I would recommend setting up an appointment with Professor Vexley so that you may explore some options for upgrades now that you're more aware of your circumstances. Players, how has your opinion on Noel evolved now that you have a better understanding of what he is?
His sense of self and his ability just to acknowledge what he's become very clinically is really interesting because I don't know if that's a part of just his transition and there's like an emotional element or if he's just very at peace with his new identity. So I think that's kind of cool. It's like giving me a little more reason to think about who he is and how he acts.
For Cadence, it's a little bit of like, it's he appreciates that there's a way for him to immediately start learning more about himself through the professor that Ethan mentioned. Um, just how Ethan had helped Cain by providing Kieran to Cain. So it's just you see Ethan several times now give the students an outlet of confidentiality and growth. So he thinks that Noel's going to be just fine.
So Misty is surprised that he's like really aware of what he is, but also he seems very intelligent, so it's a very cool combination that he has.
Despite everything that Tim has already seen so far, honestly, seeing somebody that is like a literally pretty much a robot is actually pretty surprising. And he almost feels a sense of like I don't know which word it's supposed to be, sympathy or empathy for him, considering he feels that he's not human, but he's supposed to kind of like he wants those emotions, but as a robot, you kind of just can't. It's kind of hard for that to exist. So, uh, yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. An Ironborn is technically, just in this campaign's context, a robot. It can be interpreted as a robot, but there is like
If
magical
I call him
elements.
that, will he be offended?
He won't be offended because he also doesn't really know the difference right now since they're still
Okay, I
learning.
want to make sure I'm like not saying a slur right now.
Yeah. So there
We're
are
gonna get canceled by
elements.
Amani.
So robot is just kind of the easiest way for the students in this world to probably conceptualize how he's different from human, but there is more there should the players want to explore what that species is on a deeper level.
Okay.
Now, that being said, and now, sorry, Ethan voice. And now, on to Hollywood's favorite heartthrobs, the liking, starting with Zeke. Zeke paused for a moment before speaking up. He looks to be a little bit strained as he tries to conceptualize what he has been feeling. It's like there's this there's always a storm in my chest, waiting for the smallest spark. I can laugh with you 1 second, and then next, my claws are out. It doesn't matter if I want to calm down, my body's already decided for me, he shared. Now, Bentley, how would you like to share your experience as a Lycan thus far with reference to what Zeke has shared?
For me, I notice a lot more things. It's really difficult being in large spaces with large amounts of people. I smell things, I hear things. It's all coming at once, and you would normally filter it out as a person. Sometimes I just do things, and I'm not aware of what I'm doing until it's over. Certain things will make me have a really bad reaction that I didn't have when I was a human. Alcohol, smoking. I just don't know what's gonna set me off.
So Ethan, after allowing them to share their recent experience as that, continues on. So let's get one thing straight. Not every lichen is a wolf. Each of you can only ever shift into one animal form, unique to you, and the bond is permanent. A hawk, a bear, a wolf, whatever it is, it's yours for life. The problem isn't the transformation itself, but what comes with it. Feral management. Your instincts are sharper, stronger, and harder to ignore, especially when the moon swells full. The lunar cycle drags out your animalistic urges, magnifies them until you're one bad thought away from losing yourself. Learn to tame it, or it will tame you. He informed the two of them as he extended the jade talisman into their directions. Now, you two are among the few who are already in their truest form, the alternate being your full beast form. This talisman won't help much in containing it or bringing it out, but I invite you to be a little creative in seeing if it can. He informed them. That being said, Zeke seems to already be doing what he needs to do, but Bentley, check out Elemental Blitz sometime. Unless you found some other way to blow off steam. Ha! Kai giggle snorted.
Why are you laughing? Kai! I trusted you. Okay.
You.
Players, how has your opinion about Bentley and Zeke evolved now that you have a better understanding of who or what they are?
Do I go first or Bentley?
It would be you, Cain, in this instance.
Okay. Yes. Zeke's werewolf. You kind of had that, or a lichen. You kind of had that conversation about, typically being enemies in the old world, and then the whole elemental blitz thing. Seeing that there's another lichen in the student body is interesting. You're aware of two vampires, so that kind of just makes sense in his brain. The opinion doesn't change too much. He doesn't know much about Bentley, and everything he does know about Zeke doesn't change just because it's been confirmed that he's a Lycan. He still thinks Zeke's cool and whatnot, so it's just more of a matter of fact thing, and he wants you to know them both more than the surface level stuff that he does know.
So Misty, as Zeke was talking about how, 1 minute his claws is out or the next minute he's like chilling or whatever, she kind of remembers how he like attacked Marcy, and that's when she like kind of made the, oh, he is a Lycan, yikes, and I kind of told her to to stay with his ass. But she's a strong girl. I think she should be fine. And yeah, for Bentley, so having two Lycans in the classroom, so that's pretty nice. She hasn't seen Bentley lash out yet, I don't think, but good to know. Two Lycans.
For Tim, the pouncing kind of makes a whole lot more sense now, considering he's like a little animal guy. And now he's like, okay, well, he was pretty strong. Now he's suggesting yet again another guy, an elemental blitz. There's gonna be 2 other strong people there, and it's like, man, he has to just like there has to be like a sign off on how many people can join this program because they didn't do so well last time. I think he got like, I think Tim got like 4th in like the whole battle royale thing, and he feels like the more people he adds, the lower he'll go down. So I think there needs to be a cutoff for how many people can be in there.
Zeke extended a hand in Bentley's direction shortly after their presentation, dapping him up thoroughly. I know we talked about being lichens before, but I'm realizing it might not be too bad not being the only one. We should link up sometime, he shared. Bentley, do you feel safe enough to exchange contact information with Zeke at this time?
His phone is already out. He manifested this with Sera. It's like, absolutely. Here's my number. Let's link up.
Zeke extended his phone to exchange information with Bentley. This could be fun, he shared, placing an affirming hand on his shoulder while walking by. As long as you remember I'm the alpha. Bentley, can I get a con roll?
God. Yeah, sure. Let me
just takes out a dice.
Rolling that 20 right now, bro.
Uh-oh.
Come on,
This is
Bentley.
a con roll, right?
Come on.
An alpha roll, okay? A beta roll, if you
That's
will.
crazy.
No, take the alpha title, Bentley.
Yes!
Okay, I will say this con roll wasn't to take to see if he was going to take the alpha title. This was to see if he was going to do combat for the alpha title. So Bentley, I give you the choice. Zeke is challenging your status as alpha. Would you like to do something about that?
Do it. Embarrass him.
You're not the one who's rolling for this cat.
It's fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
Hang on. Let me look in the character cheat.
Tim says fine. I think that's all you need to know. Oh, it says here Bentley's personality likes to fight.
Stop lying on my name, dog.
We already avoided the fight with Cain in that one thing. We can't knock 2 of them.
I don't know, literal, unintentionally blunt, drunken responses, violent. I don't know.
Honestly, here's what you do. You fight him, you win the title of alpha, right? And then Marcy's gonna become attached to you. Then boom, you can roll the school
Whoa, I
instead.
don't want Marcy, dog. She's a very nice woman, but I don't want Marcy, dog. I think
Why not?
he's gonna think about it, and it's like, well, you can't just take. We at least gotta like wrestle for it. Come on.
Actually, don't fight anymore because I can't have you winning against Zeke just in case because I need him to go with Marcy so Silas can get me.
So, am I hearing you correctly? You challenge Zeke to a wrestle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's not gonna get violent about it, but it's like, come on, like we should at least settle this fairly.
It's happening right now.
So Zeke is like a step away from Bentley when Bentley makes said declaration. And he turns around and he goes, "You think you can take me?"
Well, I gotta try, like.
Ethan is going to say, all right, everybody, stand back. This is natural for them. No interference. They'll figure this out on their own."
I thought he was gonna stop it. And everyone can say the fuck back.
All right, so Cain. Not Cain. Bentley.
What?
It's going to come down to a competing strength roll with Zeke to establish dominance. Go ahead and give me your strength roll.
Can't
Bentley,
wait to
you
roll
got this.
+1, bro.
Bentley, you got this, bro. You got this.
Wrestle.
That's not bad.
Tim! Tim, how could you? Hey, Tim's the real op in the chat.
You know what? For shits and giggles, let's do Zeke's role in the main chat. I feel like this is a very character significant role, and I won't let you be a beta without a fighting chance. Let me go look Zeke's stats. I will not, however, put his stats on there.
He gonna have like a +4 and everything else.
He's
is
gonna
be
roll
like
a base
-1.
16. He's gonna roll a base 16 right now.
Alright,
Probably.
cool. Alright, Zeke.
Oh, Diana! No!
Okay. You guys have rolled the exact same number.
Oh!
I mean, are we just rolling on the
So,
floor?
that being said, you guys like clash in just like feral beauty. You're tossing him down, he's tossing you down, you're rolling around on the floor. Some of the girls in the crowd, and you know, some of the guys that like guys, are cheering from the classroom seating. And you know what? Kai, of course, is like, yo, Bentley, kick his ass, put him through the desk, rip his hair. And people are kind of like looking at Kai because he's way too small to be a little this intense. Any players? Do you have any words of encouragement for some of the people that you see going up here, thrashing?
This gif is diabolical.
I don't think Cain is like outwardly saying anything because he's like not super close to either of these people, but he's like, I hope Zeke wins this because it's gonna be a fucking bitch if he comes as a loser to Elemental Blitz. So he's kind of like softly rooting for Zeke.
Misty is soft. I'm so sorry. I could just imagine Marcy just watching this unfold, and it's like, oh,
Marcy
I
has
hope.
both knees on her desk and the hands gripping the edge of the desk to get as close as she possibly can to see who's going to win this fight. The winner of this fight is a very important thing for Marcy. She needs to know. Is Zeke and Alpha? Like, on God, have I wasted my time?
Have
That's
I wasted my
crazy.
time?
This is crazy. So, I am going to soft root for Zeke because that's the homie, and I did tell Marcy that she should go for Zeke, or like they should like work it out or whatever, like date, whatever. But at the look at this, I don't know, man.
Tim?
Okay, so me, like Tim, he's like, okay, right? Hopefully Bentley wins this because we have Elemental Blitz earlier. So like that'll soften up Zeke if we have to do any more drills. But like me, like Max, obviously I'm voting for Zeke here. I need him to win over Marcy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like there's like, you know, that's what I'm working with here.
Alright, so Bentley, it is going to come down to the next roll to see who finally pins who. Do you have any... Oh, actually, huh. Let me just open up our school tab on grades.
Uh-oh.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
interesting.
That's
Yeah.
lame.
Whoever's
Does
more
he-
dumb loses.
Yeah, okay. So could you tell me what your current grade in math is?
Oh boy.
Ooh, let me go up. Math.
Just lie.
Just lie. It's crazy. I got a juicy. What is this? A D? I think it's a D.
Alright, so
Juicy.
you have a D in math, which is going to come into play as a -1 to your next roll because of the
What?
warding variable. defensive magic modifier to outputs. So, unless you are going to use a skill from a good grade that you have in another class, you will be taking this -1.
If I don't have a B or higher, I can't use it, right?
If you have,
That's correct.
you can. Okay, so how it works is if you have a C, it has no effect. If you have a D or F, then I'm free to pull from one of those classes to kind of negatively impact your roll. That is unless you have a B or higher in a class that can give you a boost that will cancel it out.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Classes are important.
be honest with you, Chief. I am a D's getting degree student right now, so I'm just gonna have to eat that. I don't got anything for that right now.
All right, then I'm going to need you to give me your next strength roll with a -1 because the warding variable is impacting your defensive magic modifier to outputs.
Alright, so that's just a base roll.
Yes.
Oh no! Oh, why didn't you do math?
Guys,
Go to math class,
Wait,
man.
now that I'm thinking about it, because you got a 16 earlier and Zeke got a 14, which means there's like a 2. So he'd have to get a 1, I guess. For
You
you
have to
be
get that one
Yeah,
to
he would
leave
have to.
this.
Zeke would have to get a -1 to not pin Bentley.
So I
Let's
think
see
it's
if
pretty-
he's capable of doing that.
Damn.
He got this. He got this.
So Bentley, your initial clash with Zeke is legendary. You're both gripping shoulders. You're slamming against the table. Ethan has to get up with his coffee and kind of like walk away for a moment to give you guys more space. You're on the floor. You're pushing each other around. You're rolling around. The furniture is moving, and ultimately, you start to sweat. And you're just like, wow, he doesn't seem to be getting tired. And you start to get nervous, and the beta in you starts to expose your neck. And before you know it, Zeke gets on top of you. He pins you down by the shoulders. He is straddling your waist, and you just don't have the fight in you to challenge him. A part of you is just scared that the more you start to put into fighting against him, the more likely he is going to increase his intensity, and you frankly just don't want to see what that looks like. And you fold.
So there's a word from a very old campaign that I think is very relevant here. It's called scaroused. So it's like you're folding and you want to be embarrassed, but it's just like you're embarrassed, you're kind of scared, you're kind of turned on, you're feeling feelings. And
Whoa.
as I'm looking into my bi-curious sexuality on my sheet, he's feeling feelings.
Zeke has you pinned down. He's breathing. Sorry, he's not breathing hard at all. This was light work for him. And when he sees the defeat in your eyes, the first one to give a chant of like affirmation to him unexpectedly is Marcy. She gets real loud. She's just like, "Let's go! Yeah!" And everyone kind of like looks at her for a moment. And she just sits back in her seat. I mean, like, yeah, of course Zeke was gonna win.
Why's she lying on this name?
Cain, from beside you, Silas is kind of like sucking his teeth and rolling his eyes. You know that he was planning on hitting on Marcy today, but how the fuck is he going to get the opportunity to do so now that Zeke just basically alphaed all over the floor?
Alpha all over the floor is not a statement that I thought I was gonna hear today. He looks at Silas kind of like calculating in his head how he's gonna do this, and he leans into Silas a little bit. Guess you're gonna have to go extra hard in Blitz class today. Maybe even target somebody.
Fuck, he says under his breath. Not wanting to like expose himself to all of the people who might have enhanced hearing, but
Yeah.
you could tell that when you spoke to him about him potentially getting a girlfriend, him mentioning Marcy kind of felt like a passing comment. Like, you know, Marcy just makes sense. But now that getting Marcy may mean just straight kicking the dog shit out of Zeke, he's in it. He has a part of him that just seems very competitive. So this is
Oh.
activating that competitive streak in him.
He kind of like tapped him on the back. Tapped him on the back. Good luck, buddy.
You know, Ethan rises from his seat and he places his hat back upon his head and he says, let me zoom out a little bit here from my script because it's, here we go. And he says, I know that I said that I would do 4 students, but today's a little different. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves or do some alternative assignments until the bell rings. He shared as his glasses came on his face next. Just a reminder, all of your professors have their contact information on your SSS Marketplace app. If you ever need to get in contact with them, use that. He walked down the center of the class, you know, leaving Bentley to be pinned by Zeke up front, and exited for the rest of the hour. Zeke gets off from on top of Bentley, extending a hand of camaraderie to his beta.
Why are you saying it like it's a fucking slur?
With a wide, wolfish grin on his face. And he says, hey, you know, I'd say that was a good fight, but, really didn't feel like one.
Okay, wait, come on. You already won. I'm already down. Like, come on. Cut me some slack. How did you do that?
Some people are just naturally gifted.
Man, that was incredible. I can't even lie. That was cool. What you did, that was cool.
So, players, you have a moment to touch base with someone you may know. Would you like to do so, or would you like to take time to just breathe? Mind you, this could also be a good time to give a second crack at any of those packets that you... Now that you see how, I
All
can
right.
basically pull out your bad grades to, assault you.
I took a look at these said grades. Okay.
Of course, you cannot work on your science packet now because that packet requires that you are in class. But if you want to take another
Right.
swing at mathematics, this would be a good time. Bentley the Beta. Wow. Hold on, I gotta
Bentley
change
the
the guy's
Beta.
name.
Ooh. Can I work on that juicy packet? No reason?
No reason.
Who? Okay, you can work on the packet. Go ahead and give me that juicy intel roll, -1, because you currently have a D in math.
I love it. Let me see if I have a modifier that cancels that out. Base roll. Awesome.
I'll also do my math. See if I can bring it up a little bit higher.
Alright, go ahead and give me that juicy intel roll. You have nothing to
yeah,
lose.
+1. Nothing to lose, you know. I have a +1 because it's a B. And yeah. Which makes sense.
Alright, Bentley, your grade isn't getting any higher, but it's not getting any lower. So, yeah, good luck with that. Cain, you are able to take this time to finally complete your packet. I believe raising your grade to an A.
Let's go!
Let me check my grading scale. Yes, you are officially in the A range. Would anyone else like to work on their packet?
I would like to work on my packet.
Go ahead and give me the intel roll. And Tim, would you like to work on your packet?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take another crack at this real quick.
Alright, you are getting... I believe you have that ring that gives you +1 intel, but
Yes,
because you currently have a D, it's -1 intel, so you're doing a base roll.
Sounds
I
good to
got
me.
an F minus. That's -2.
That is disadvantage -1.
F
Kill me
minus?
so oh my god.
Yeah.
What do you need to roll for an F minus?
Tim!
I think you rolled a 1.
It
Tim,
sucks.
with your roll of an 8,
I need deep ones.
your grade isn't going to get any lower, but it's not going to get any higher either.
Hate this shit.
I'm sorry, you said -2 disadvantage?
-1 disadvantage.
Yeah,
Minus
-1
3.
disadvantage.
What's your intel?
Does the intel matter?
Yes, the intel does
Yeah.
matter, because it's an intel roll.
So if your intel's like a +2, you'll roll a +1 because you have to take 1 away from the.
Misty's
subject.
intel is +1, so you're just rolling disadvantage.
Yeah, no bonus. Okay.
Okay. You got a 12, which on the grading scale is a D.
Okay, 2 Ds, let's go.
Hey,
All
we're
right.
moving up. Moving up is great.
You know, it's not an F. It's not an F.
It's not. It's no longer F. You had an F minus. You went from an F to a D. F minus to a D. You took 200.
I actually had an F plus, so
Oh, never mind.
A D! You're getting a degree!
Okay. Well, I'm glad that, you know, seeing how I could attack Bentley based on his grades, you guys just, out of the kindness of your heart, just felt the need to focus on your grades. Like, oh my god, I couldn't have expected that.
Who'da
Alright.
thunk it?